Hey guys, what's up? It's Sachika. Welcome to my channel where I do art, student and lifestyle content. So if you're interested in any of that, head down below and subscribe. And I hope you're having an amazing day. And let's get it. So today is a lovely day in London. It's actually sunny and nice and warm, which is recently rare actually, because the last couple of days it's been rainy and windy and cloudy and it's all just been kind of depressing. But today is an amazing day in London, which is awesome. Today we're gonna, by the way, I'm really sorry for missing last week's upload. I didn't mean to, and I meant to actually put this video up last week, but things came up and I needed a little break, and so here we are. Today we're gonna talk about the Sky, which is my notebook for my bullet journal. It's by Notebook Therapy. I'm gonna put you guys in the, we're gonna do this like I do my plan with me's, where you guys are gonna just look at the notebook in a little bit, but I just want to explain a few things first. So this is gonna be a review. I'm gonna do a paint test and a pen test, and I will also talk about the details of the notebook with you guys. I want to tell you guys that for the second half of 2021, I'm using the Amanda Ridgely notebook. Last year, because it was my first year of bullet journaling, at the start, which is the first half of the year, I just stuck to a normal, like, thin paper plain notebook that I just found on found on Amazon. And yeah, that's what I had. But in the second half of the year, I was using the Archer and Olive notebook, which is a little bit more expensive than this. And I'm going to explain the difference to you guys. Also, I'm going to tell you which one I like better and stuff. They're both comparable to each other, which is awesome. All of these notebooks that I'm going to be using from now on, they're all 160 GSM white paper, amazing quality notebooks. And they cost a little bit extra, obviously, given the whole thing that there is. But I think they're well worth the price. I do love using them, and I love the freedom that they give me with my mediums, especially because I am an art student, and this is actually one of my bullet journal is one of the places where I can paint and draw without any pressure. Usually, even when I'm like just painting and drawing for myself, there's this a little bit of, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like, for me, like, if there's one incomplete painting on my wall right now and it just keeps bugging me, and I've actually done the same painting on my iPad digitally. It was easier digitally and I finished it, but still looking at that painting every time bothers me so much. And if something goes wrong on paper, I don't know, it's just something that just bothers me a lot. This, however, somehow I just find it freeing to do art in this, and it's all very personal and I do love it, and so I'm going to talk to you guys about that. If you guys have watched any of my plan with me's before, you know that I use a range of mediums. Like for me, I used gouache. Before that, I have used poster paints and markers and all of that good stuff, and it's all worked out great. So let's switch to the notebook view. Okay, so I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about the notebook itself first. So all the Notebook Therapy notebooks have a vegan leather cover, and they have the elastic closure that you guys just saw me opening, right? And it's a really nice, like, smooth feeling vegan leather cover. And actually there's this mark on mine which came there during shipping. Yeah, you can see me pointing that out right now. And it's really not their fault. It was, the shipping was like, it was during the whole COVID thing. They have two of these like ribbon bookmarks that come with it. One of mine snapped off, and that's why I'm using one of my own bookmarks that you can see peeking out. They have the classic pocket at the back, and one thing that I really like about their notebooks is that they have this tiny quote on the last page, which is really cute. The one in mine is also really sweet. It reads, "Meet me in the moonlight where thoughts are etched in the dusty skies." Now, I guess that's kind of apt because the notebook that I have is the Night Skies notebook, if I'm not wrong, if I'm not getting that particular name of theirs wrong. So now we're going to start with the pen test. I'm just using the last page of the notebook because I still want to use this notebook for June. and at the top of the page I'm just writing down pen and paint test as sort of a title. And we're gonna start with the pens. So the first pen that I used is the staedler fineliner, which I've been using for a while. I've had this set of 20 for a while. Of course, as always, you'll find all the supplies that I use linked down below. And I'm using everything in blue too, just to have a sort of consistent feel to this video. And you can see me just writing down the name of the medium that I am using. So now about the notebook as well. The price of this notebook is £18.5, which is I think approximately like $25, and they have free shipping for everything, which is what I really like about notebook therapy. The paper is white, it's 160 GSM. It has these like light grey dots that I really like. They're really good for drawing lines and stuff. This pen that I use is just a Lamy fountain pen that I've had for a while, and I currently am using it as sort of the thing I write with in my bullet journal. Next, I tested the Sakura Jelly Roll pen. The pen broke off for a little bit in the middle, but that's really not the fault of the notebook. It's the pen itself that's causing that issue. Now, another thing about the notebook that I wanted you guys to know, in comparison to ArtStudentLife, which I have used before, is that the one thing that I find is that ArtStudentLife had a elastic pen holder on the side, which this one does not have. And I do also think that the bookmarks were of better quality. Like this one just snapped off like nobody's business. But those ones were, I know they were good quality notebooks. And I didn't actually buy my ArtStudentLife off the ArtStudentLife website. I bought it off this Indian website called Bigger Dreams Company. And yeah, now this was just a Posca paint pen that I had. I figured if I was being entirely fair, I should use something that is a combination of a pen and a paint. So now here's the thing, guys, about the Posca paint pen. I think they're poster paints, I'm not sure though. Now the next thing that I'm using is the Fabercastell Brush pen. Well, to be exact, the Fabercastell Pit Artist Brush pen, and I bought this in a set of 10, I want to say 10 colors. Now if you guys see me writing, you can tell that I haven't practiced my brush calligraphy in a while, because I'm not using the brush pen as it should be used when one is doing brush calligraphy. Now another thing that I want you guys to know about the difference between notebook therapy and ArtStudentLife, and this is a point in the favor of notebook therapy, is the vegan leather cover actually. Because first of all, it's vegan leather, that means it's cruelty free, which is awesome, and I much prefer it because it's easier to keep clean than the standard ArtStudentLife linen cover, which catches dust so easy, especially if you have a darker color. Yeah. Now the pen that I use right now is a Winsor Newton Pro marker. It's alcohol based and it has two sides. It's an artist marker, and something you guys should know is because it's alcohol based, I don't expect there to be no ghosting or bleeding. I've realized that you need, I think, at least 200 GSM for an alcohol marker to be completely like ghost proof and transfer proof and whatever. The next marker that I'm using is the Tombow brush pen ABT Dual Pro something. It's a set of 5 alcohol based markers from Tombow. Usually the brush pens that all of us use from Tombow, they're not alcohol based, they're water based, and so those you won't see any ghosting, bleeding, any of that stuff. None of that will happen no matter how dark the color you choose. But this one, because it's alcohol based, they're pretty sure there's going to be ghosting at the back. Once I'm done checking all of the mediums, I'm going to turn the page and I'm going to show you guys exactly what kind of ghosting, bleeding business happened.
Now comes the paint portion of the paint and pen test. I'm starting off with the Daler Rowney Simply Gouache paints, which I did use for my May plan with me, so I know they work okay on this paper. Now, the thing about gouache paints is you can use them with a lot of water or without a lot of water, to be honest with you, and they work fine either way. I think would not recommend using water, or using a lot of water on 160 GSM paper, because again, that's a little bit too thin for this. Like, normal watercolor paper is approximately 300 GSM, which is the optimal weight for a paper that you want to absorb water. And yeah. So now I'm just doing a swatch of the paint, both dry and wet. So the first swatch is a little bit drier compared to the next swatch, which I'm going to add a little bit of water to the paint before I swatch it. Next is acrylic paint. Now, as a rule, you wouldn't add a lot of water to acrylic paint anyway, and so it should kind of hold up fine, because I think the issue with thinner paper is just that it doesn't absorb water, and so it kind of like, it bunches up a little bit, gets a little bit that wavy feeling effect thingy that happens to it. That's what happens to thinner paper, and that's what's probably going to happen to this guy. But yeah, acrylic usually doesn't have an issue as long as you don't kind of pile it on. Now I'm using something called poster paints, which I've had for a while, and actually they have kids use poster paints, but they actually, I've realized, make a really good medium. Now, I don't actually know the difference between poster paints and gouache paints, but from what I have been using the past couple of days, I realized that my poster paints are a little bit more opaque than gouache paints when added water to, and they're a little bit more even. And I don't know whether that's just because I have the most basic gouache paints ever, or if it's just a difference in the mediums. And I just do one swatch for this one, because why would I do two? Next, I'm using watercolor paints. I'm using the Winsor & Newton watercolor paints, which again, everything linked down below, guys. And I've been using these for a while. I really like the quality of them. And for these, I did a swatch, which was a little bit more opaque, like a little bit more dry brushy. And then after that, I blended it with water, because that's the whole point of watercolor paints. Flipping the page, you'll just see some ghosting from the two alcohol-based markers, which, like I said, I expected. And also you'll see a little bit of bunching of the paper under the watercolors and the more watery swatch of the gouache paints, which I'll show you in a second. You can see three spots where the paper is bunched up a little bit, and also you can see the ghosting of the two markers as well, like I predicted.
And so guys, that was that. I hope you guys liked it. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you think that, I don't know, I hope that helps you make a decision maybe if you're watching reviews on which notebook to pick for the next time you buy one. Yeah, so I hope you guys liked that. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, head down below and subscribe. Leave a like if you liked the video and a comment telling me first of all why you watched this video, and if you have a bullet journal, which notebook brand you like best. And also tell me what you thought about the notebook and my review, of course. And yeah, that's it. I hope you'll have an amazing day, and bye!